There's a grave.
People must come out to say that enough is enough. When you travel to the north, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people are in Sabongeri in Kanu. Are they living are they living in the forest? They came to the town. They work very hard. They build houses. They build mansions. They develop the entire place. Is that not what they do? What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. World aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council, where you move cattle from place to place. Are you people well at all? You so-called Nigerians, are you normal in the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century, moving cattle from place to place. Tell me that great country is that. Please tell me. These are people they have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done with you, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant.
Today they will tell us they are here, tomorrow they are here. Everybody knows within our area. But we will not see any action taking place. That to say, sir, we need this Senate to tell the armed forces to be reporting progress every week so that state by state, otherwise it will be a mess of all issues and we will not be seeing progress. Sir, I beg you, time is right now that this problem is solvable. We have seen progress. We should not allow progress to be derailed. We should pursue this remnant of these people so that our next election can be peaceful and so. And we have something to say to our people, sir. This is the only thing I want to take. If I get protected in my environment, keep your roads, keep your. We just want to be safe. And that is the message we are sending to the Senate President. Please save our life and our people. We are not bothered about roads now or schools. Please save our lives. Our people's lives are in danger. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir,
I'm not shocked because I think on your show I once declared that Kanu's predicament or his ordeal is as a result of some persons who took a decision that his release would jeopardize their political career and future. That I know as far back as when Tinubu freshly became president, because some conversation to release him. And they said at that time, Imo elections are coming. If it comes out, APC might not win. And subsequently, I realized that some of the communiques you see is just, word of mouth by day. When they go at night or when they meet Tinubu, it's likely that they have a different position. And when I started contacting them in the last 24 hours, I'm shocked. Some of them that I used to be able to just switched off their lines. The ones I sent messages never responded. I reached out to Soludo, who I know personally.
that's Charles Soludo,
the governor of Anambra State.
Right.
No response till now. I reached out to Alex Oti. Alex Oti used to be a columnist for Sahara Reporters, so I know him personally. No response till now. The only response I got was a nominal response that no, we shouldn't have dragged us the way you did. Reached out to Peter Obi, they said he's in Rome. I sent a message that, you you can behave as the Romans do too, just of this. But some have been encouraging. Senator Barry, I reached out to him, he responded, he said, I'm in on this. And I know that Barry suffered when he was a shorty for Kanu. In fact, I was sleeping on a Barry-based bed at the DS-19 shortly after he was released, because he was shorty for Nnamdi Kanu. So the rep from his state at the National the House of Rep also has signed up. A number of persons have signed up, some of them publicly, but there is no unified response from Southeastern political leaders or traditional rulers, or even the religious priesthood there, which many had expected would happen. But a lot of young people have signed up to this, and you can see that Nigeria is already pushing back because they've seen the response to be unequivocally in support of the release of Nnamdi Kanu at this time. I don't think they were expecting that such a response would be so favorable and swift.
The Igbos politicians are useless, very, very useless. The governors of Southeast are very, very useless. The Ndigboo as a Igbo socio-cultural group is also a very useless organization. The Southeast governors are so useless, they are useless to themselves. And they are even useless to their people. If not because these people are so useless, I see no reason that Nnamdi Kanu should still be in detention. Dramatically kidnapped in Kenya, brought into this country, and then dramatic allegation against him. For many years he has been in detention. But what is happening in the north? The play of shame and disgrace in the north. In the north, the northern politicians actually agitated for the forgiveness of Boko. Boko Harams were fed, they were given money, clothes, and they were even fed with rice and chicken. And look at the recent disgrace and shame, the display of disgrace and shame of this country in Katsina. Just this week, where bandits with their ammunition, with tenacity, and with ammunitions, AK-47s with ammunition, come for peace reconciliation. They were bossy and talking to Nigerians men as if they were addressing school children. And yet Kanu is in detention. And some of the eastern governors are. Look, the South wake up. Oh. The South need to wake up. Because what the North is doing is actually, it's so dramatic and so it's so shame, and it's so disgusting to the East. You ask, either we have one country, We asked that we even have a constitution in this country. Do we have different rules for different people? Nigeria is a joke.
How can investors come with this kind of thing, Mr. Okoro? Are you aware that this thing has gone viral all over the world? A sitting president of Nigeria, telling the whole world not to reveal his criminal records. What does that tell you? Mr. Okoro, can you do business with such a president when he comes to you and say, come and invest in my country? Can you? You can see the person demarketing Nigeria. You can see the person refusing investors to come into Nigeria, Mr. Okoro. Do you even know what is going on here? This man is paid money. Somebody from US said that over $2 million is involved in this thing. Just somebody's record from being reviewed. If Mr. Tinubu had a very good record, Mr. Okoro, will he be going through this route? And that is the same man who is ruling Nigeria. It's not only the FBI, I hope you know. Yes, DEA is involved, Drug Enforcement Agency. You can see the kind of character that is presiding over our affairs in Nigeria, Mr. Okoro. Have you seen why things are not moving? Have you seen why Nigeria is where it is now? How can such a character represent good governance? Just tell me, how? Can you put something on nothing? No, can you put something on nothing and expect it to stand? The whole world should come to the aid of Nigeria. We are in a very big trouble in the hands of Tinubu. He has dealt with us in a manner unprecedented in this country. Everything that is bad, everything that is obnoxious, everything that is illegal is what that man represents. Yes, he's presenting over our affairs. How can we move forward? How can Nigeria survive in the hands of a man like that? Please, somebody should. Is it possible? Did you ever get it right under Tinubu? Look at how much effort is wasted to stop that record. How many times now? Since 20.
Ranar Laraba an ba su kimanin mutum 30 can 27 a uku 30 kenan su aka ba da an hada nawa kenan an samu kimanin mutum 70 har da biyu kuma ba wani abu ba yasa aka bada su ta dalilin sasancin da aka yi ba wai wata barazana aka yi mu wanda suke rike da su ba ba ƙarhin yaƙi aka nuna ba alƙawalin nan da aka ɗauka shi ya sanya aka bada su sannan ba wurin mutum guda suke ba an soje wannan an soje wannan an soje wannan sannan tun ranar Laraba da aka bada su mai gidan mai umurce ne da cewar in tahi in je wajen mun hayin daji duk dai abin da ya samu duk wanda aka san an kama a cikin dajin nan a an so shi kuma ina can ina bakin kokari na an so shi ai na an so su mutanen wanda aka kakkama ba mu ruwan godiya cewa jami'an tsaro sun je sun samu mutanen mu sun bude musu wuta har da Hausa an yi kan mai uwa da wabi an kashe mata da maza da yan yara sannan an kwashe dukiya an sun tafi da baburan mu to kaga wannan abun shi ke nuna alaman kuma jami'an tsaron akwai yan ɓata gari daga cikin wanda ba son abin na lahiya ko ba gaskiya ba. Don haka nan in za ku ɗauki mataki ku ɗauki mataki akan abun nan, in ko ba za ku ɗauki mataki ba to gidan jiha za a koma, ba sai an goma gidan jiha ba abu ya lalace kuma a zo ai ta yada mada ana cewa ai mun saba alƙawari mu maciya amana ne kaza yau abun nan kuma ku annan shugabannin ba wanda bai san ko akwai wanda rufudin bai zo mai ba, abinda na faɗi ƙarya na faɗi kun san an yi ko ba gaskiya ba. To don haka nan dama irin wa'annan abubuwan su suka bata ƙasar nan ko ba gaskiya ba. A je a samu bayin Allah da basu ji ba basu gani ba a masu kisan gilla, mu da mun je mun rama a yada ma duniya a ce ai mu yan ta'adda ne kaza wai mu rayuwar mu wace irin mu ya aka dauki rayuwar mu. To bari ku ji in ga maku tsakani da Allah, tsakanin shi da Allah, ko tsakanin shi da Allah. In ko ba za a yi tsakani da Allah ba to rayuwa ba ta yi rayuwa ba. Duk wanda ya dauki rayuwar mu ba bakin komai take ba to ma banza a banza take. Wallahi da ka ce za ka kashe man rai to ni ma daukan naka zan yi ko ba haka ba. Dan haka nan tsakanin da Allah in za a tsaya na tsakani da Allah ko a tsaya a yi shi. Ku tsakanin da Allah ku daukan mu abun nan mataki ko ba gaskiya ba. Yanzu misali wannan abun da yau Juma'a inda a ce kamar irin mutanen mu ne suka je sai abin da bai dace ba ya cewar ai an saba alƙawari nan matiya amma za ga nan da yin alƙawari da su sun samu manoma ko kaza ko yan cikin gari haka tuɗe masu ta. To jami'an tsaro sun suka zo abu kuma ko da suka zo suka kashe mutane abun ya shafi da Hausa ta dalilin Hausa da a ce ba garin ai ba za su zo su kashe mana mutane ba ko ba gaskiya ba. Amma ta dalilin mutanen mu na ciki suna rayuwa da mutane yasa aka zo akan kashe su an zo su ma an taɓa wanda ba a san taɓa su anda aka ɗauki rayuwarsu da muhimmanci wanda ake son a kare ko ba haka ba. To don haka nan tsakanin da Allah wannan abu in ba za a yi tsakani da to gidan jefa za a koma kowa ya san da wannan sannan taɓa mu a ce ko ba za mu yi magana ba ko ba gaskiya ba. Tsakani da Allah za a ɗauki matakin in kuma aka ce wai wannan abun yaudara za a zo ai a kashe mana mutane a ce ai wasu jami'an tsaro ne suka zo daga wuri kaza ba za mu yadda da wannan ba. In aka zo aka kama mana mutane aka tai da su ba ina ne a ce to ba za mu lamunta da wannan ba. Dama tun farko sai da muka yi complete din kuka ce kun amince duk wani jami'in tsaro ba wanda ba ku zama da shi ba, da manya da ƙanana ba wanda bai san da maganan nan ba. To ga irin ta yanzu an zo an fara kuma mutun da aka yi wannan complaint wanda za ku nuna cewa ai gashi akwai wata alama ta barazana ta bangaren mu wanda za a ce mun yi ne saba alƙawari ko akwai.
And if you allow yourselves to be deceived, things can only get worse. Fulani terrorists will take over your land. Time and time again, I have warned you on this very matter, but some of you never ever listened. Because in this life, what goes around comes around. If you support evil today because you're benefiting, eventually that evil will overwhelm you.
A tribalist. I'm not a tribalist, and that is what makes us different. We want, if I'm criticizing you, I criticize you with fact and figures. I'm going to tell you how all of them are. Do I explain? One, starting from Atiku. Atiku was indicted in the United States for money laundering. You think if Nigeria is a United States, Atiku will come back and start contesting with the criminal record he has to have for money laundering? Tinubu was indicted in the United States for drug pushing. The records are there, so it's criminal. Nigeria is being ruled by criminals, and they bring criminals. P2B his name was in Pandora. He didn't deny it. It's also the part of international money laundering crime. He has $15 million in all.
But surely Obi being is on the side of your people.
That is the problem. Why must you have somebody that have to be in the side of my people? That is the dangerous diversity that have brought us this far. Because Everything about Nigeria is what favors my people. I don't want what we want a Biafra where it favors everybody. But when you have Nigeria, it is either Fulani. Now we don't even have Hausa anymore because Fulani have overshadowed them. So it is either you are fighting for Northerner as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue in that kind of system?
Well, thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I began to represent some corporations and countries and causes that I believe in. It has been an honor to work with you, Your Excellency. Elias Gerasulis is my partner. This is primarily Elias's, but I'm working with him. While I was in the Congress, I was on the committee that funds Defense and State Department Foreign Operations, as well as the Foreign Relations Committee. I have an interest in Africa. I was a principal co-sponsor of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. But most importantly, I believe that Biafran independence is a just and noble cause. And I trust that you have a bright future ahead. We will try to secure your independence. We can't promise because the politics is not a predictable situation in the United States today, and justice is not, but we will work towards that objective. I appreciate the opportunity to work on behalf of the Biafran people, and at this point, let me turn it over to Elias. Elias?
Thank you, Jim. And it's an honor to be working with you. We appreciate your lending your support, someone of your prestige and stature. That association would be so critical. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Excellencies, and dear Biafrans in the United States and around the world. My name is Elias Gerasulis, and I am a friend and colleague of Congressman Moran. We are your new lobbyist here in Washington, D.C. However, you know that we are more than just your lobbyists. We are fellow fighters in the struggle for the liberation by Biafra. And similar to how your compatriots in the Biafran Defense Forces are securing your freedom on the homeland, we will be fighting for your freedom in the political and diplomatic battlefield here in Washington, D.C. And we will make sure that all these congressmen and senators understand that the Biafran independence is a pure democratic civilian uprising against injustice, the very same one that we had in the United States when we declared our independence 200 years ago. On a personal level, I knew I had to get, not only because of my belief in the Biafran cause, in His Excellency, the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. As I got to know the Prime Minister, I could see that he has remarkable leadership qualities and vision. And I knew that instinctively that he was a man of destiny and that he will have a very important impact in the years to come. And I thought it was a personal duty to assist him. Already, the Prime Minister has made remarkable progress and has outsmarted the Nigerian system in many ways. The Prime Minister has done this with the self-referendum. He has done this with open diplomatic liaison offices around the world. And I think by establishing a proper Biafran lobby in Washington, D.C., the Prime Minister has delivered his master's. And if you can look at the Nigerian media, and you will see that this is something that's really publicized. And I think this is because they understand the moment that the United States starts to gain more support for the bus, it will be a game changer because its leads, other countries follow. Moran and myself to the U.S. Congress, your voice to the White House, your voice to the State Department, your voice to the highest offices in this great land. And we will not stop until victory is achieved. Long live a free, independent, and sovereign Biafra. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that brilliant speech there. Lawyers, we're happy to have you on board, and we have a lot of things to say. Thank you. This particular today is just to present you to the Biafrans in the United States. As I made my promise, I have fulfilled it. It is now that we go out there and do what we know how to do best for the interest of Biafra.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It's our honor, and we look forward to serving you in the cause. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. It was a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Jimora. Thank you.
Good morning, dear friends. Wonderful people. Lovers of them all over the world. Anywhere you are watching us from, you are all welcome. Please share, and share. I want to appreciate every one of you. More importantly, last night, the you turned out to exercise their right to support in their freedom. I appreciate every one of you. Before I proceed, I want to display
Pretending you're not at war in the middle of a war doesn't change the reality. It doesn't make the violence go away. It just makes you more likely to die. You're at war whether you fight back or not. And there will come a time where you lament your cowardice. Because when the war, you denied it was even going on. Oh no, it's not a war. No, we don't need a war. It's not a war. We're just losing all of our land, sovereignty, and lives. Yeah, that's not a war. Definitely not. They were to come and take over your country and control every aspect of what you do and tell you what to say and think. You're denying reality because you're afraid. And fighting, you want to pretend there's not going to be a fight. You know, that guy gets in your face, he's going to swing. Oh, maybe if I just don't hit him, stay here nicely, he won't hit me. Unfortunately, it's not the way the world works. You know, if a weaker animal removes its completely, the predator for said prey than they would normally have. They're no nicer, no more forgiving. In fact, when you have absolutely or no will to defend yourself, they feast and they kill more than they need because they don't fear repercussion. And then you go extinct. And then the people who write the history books and talk and how it was all your own fault. And they didn't exterminate you, you just, and you asked for it. So you don't even get a happy footnote in history. Just vanish. Vanquished. As permanently forgotten. Seldom mentioned. And illy discussed.
Denying where you are in the middle of the war. It's really, really disgusting, and you are lying to yourselves. I want us to listen to it once again because it's very, very very important that you listen to it and get the message proper. You get the message that it is intended to pass. And this message to Biafrans all over the world, this message is going to those who say that they prefer Igbo nation to Biafra. So whether you are Ndigboo or Ndigbo, or you are a Biafran, this message is basically for each and every one of us. Meditate on what this man is saying, because he is absolutely right.
Pretending you're not at of a war.
We hear that. Pretending you are at war, in the middle of war. In Biafra land, the Nigerian state have declared war on the Biafran people. Yet, a lot of you do not see it at war, because you are not running helter-skelter, because you are not looking for shelter elsewhere. So that is why a lot of you are pretending what is happening in Biafran territory. It's not war. Why other people, properties are being destroyed? Why other people are being killed? You pretend as if you don't know what is happening. You pretend as if what is happening do not concern you. You pretend as if the properties that are bought are not owned by anyone. You pretend the people being killed are not humans. You refuse to acknowledge that fact, that this military convoy in Biafran territory roaming on our streets, carrying guns, sophisticated weapons in civilian communities. You think that it is normal. This man here is telling you that something is actually wrong with your reasoning, because you are in the middle of war, and yet you do not acknowledge that. Yet pretend you don't know. But actually, you are in a very war. It is happening.
Doesn't change the reality. It doesn't make the violence go away.
You hear it. It doesn't change the reality, and it doesn't make the violence go away. You just close your eyes and you don't want to think about it. You don't want to talk about it. You wish it can just vanish in the thin air.
Just makes you more likely to die. You're at war whether you fight back or not.
Whether you fight back or you rise up to fight, I want you to know that we are at war with the Nigerian state. Whether you're against it or you don't speak out against it, I want you to know that we are at war with the Nigerian state.
And there will come a time where you lament your cowardice.
There will be a time going to regret not enough to fight, not enough to speak, not rising up to contribute to your freedom. There will be a time.
Because when the war was winnable, you denied it was even.
Yes. Because you don't know whether your input or your contribution is going to make sure that it contributes to our victory.
Going on. Oh, no, it's not. No, we don't need a war. It's not a.
You continue to deny it. It's not a war. We don't need a war. We don't want to be killed. It's just operation. It's operation done. Why people are being killed, you don't want to acknowledge that fact. But you know that
war, we're just losing all freedom and sovereignty.
We are losing all of our people. We are losing our authority in our land. We are losing our sovereignty in our places. You that should have stood with your people, support them.
Lives. Yeah, that's not war.
Defend ignorance of what is happening. Because you are affiliated to Nigeria. Because you bet from the system. Because
definitely not. Heaven forbid they were to come and take over.
Heaven forbid that they over your
control every aspect of what you do and tell you what to say and think.
You see that? He said, heaven forbid that they come and take over land. They now force you to, they want you to leave. They tell you what to speak. They tell you what to do in time. You are denying reality. You deny what is happening on ground. You pretend it does not exist. You pretend it is not there, but you see them every day in your communities, in your states.
Because you're afraid.
Because of fear.
Fighting, you want to...
When you are afraid of fighting, when you are afraid to contribute, when you are afraid to support the freedom of your people, you are not doing your people, you are doing yourself. You are doing your
pretend there's not going to be a fight, you know? That guy gets in your face, he's going to swing.
Because of fear. Because you have already accepted defeat. Because of fear, you can't even confront your enemies. Because of fear, you feel intimidated and harassed. Because of fear, you cannot even start.
Oh, maybe if I just don't hit him and I just stay here nice.
Because of fear, you try to be nice to your oppressors. Because of fear, you try to portray there is nothing happening.
See, he won't hit me.
Because
it's not a movie,
fear.
Unfortunately.
It looks like just a movie. Because of fear. Because of fear, you do not want to defend your women and children who are vulnerable in the society. Just because of fear. In some cases, you have to pick
it's not the way the world works. You know, of a weaker animal.
That is not how this world works. You have to stand up and stand for what is right. You have to stand and stand up for what you believe in. You have to stand, protect that which is so dear to you. It doesn't matter.
Removes its claws completely.
It doesn't matter how your enemies confront you. So you have to stand up and be a man and fight for what you because if you don't confront evil, that evil is going to overwhelm you.
The prayer said, pray, have no more mercy.
When they see that you are courageous, when they see that you are afraid, when they see that you are fidgeting, it gives them the courage. It emboldens them. It is them.
See, than they would normally have. They're no nicer, no more forgiving.
Because they are not going to be nice to you. Yes. When they see that you have the fear in you, they are emboldened with their courage to come after you more mercilessly. They can never be nice.
In fact, when you have absolutely no weapons or...
When they see that you don't want to go and pick up your weapon and challenge them, They are in bonding because you have given them the leeway, the go ahead, the courage to come after your women and come after your children. But once you rise up to confront them,
no will to defend yourself,
you don't have any way to
they
defend
feast.
yourself. They feast on you. When they see you don't have the will, the courage to defend yourself, they feast on you. They feast on your family.
And they kill at random. They kill more than they need because...
Yes, they kill more than they need because they have seen that they have threatened and frightened you to submission. So they will now be abandoned to destroy, to cause more destruction and more harm.
They don't fear repercussion.
At all. They
And then
don't
you go
fear
extinct.
repercussion. And then you go extinct. They will stop at nothing to make sure that you go extinct. This is the reality. This is the sad reality of what is happening today. You see how the Nigerian government are killing Benue and other parts of
And then the people who exterminated you write the history.
And the sad reality is that these people, when they succeed in terminating you, they are going to write your history. They write about their decision. And they will
History books and talk about how you deserved it.
And
how it was all...
How it was all your fault. They are going to write the history book. They are the ones who intimidated you. They are the ones who harassed you. They are the ones who killed you and sent you into exile or into oblivion. They
your own fault. And they didn't exterminate you. You just suck.
And they will also write about you. And they now place all the blame. They place all the blames on your head because they will tell you that you are the one who caused it. Of course, it is their narrative
you asked for
that they are going to.
So you don't know in history.
So the right thing to do is don't give in to your enemies. Don't give in to those who have come to destroy you, because they have not come for the betterment of your life. They are coming for that destruction. That is their goal. That is their plan. That is that you vanish
conquered
from the face of the earth. They want to conquer you. They want you to be vanquished. Make sure that you go extinct. And you can only succeed if you allow them to do that. They can only succeed if you are so weak, rise up and confront
vanquished. As permanently forgotten.
You will be forgotten permanently if you allow that to happen to you. If you allow it to your children, your family, your community, you are going to be forgotten. This is
seldom mentioned.
Nobody will mention anymore. You've been conquered. You have been destroyed. And this is what our leader, Ndigboo.No, told us about the Hausa tribe. How often?
Disgust losers.
How often do you hear about in this 21st century, how often do you hear of a tribe? But while we were growing up, we hear only about Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. But today, the Hausa tribe have been conquered because they did not have the courage, not rise up to defend themselves. They did not rise up to protect their people. They did not rise up to defend their communities, their women and children. That is why today they are forgotten, they are vanquished, they are humiliated, and if they are going extinct. And that intimidation have not stopped. That harassment, that is the same way that they want to use to harass Biafran people. It's the same way they want to make us to be subjected, the same manner they subjected the Hausa tribe. That is the same way they are trying to subject us. That is the reason why you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case is an intimidation to the Igbo nation, to the Biafran people. The intimidation and persecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is just study for you as an Igbo man. That we in that world. So I want us to understand that it's something that we should be aware of. That intimidation of our leader on the Kanu is an intimidation of the Igbo people and of the Biafran people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Ohamadike one of Biafra land is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been a central in Igbo self-nation movement since 2012. And the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu POB was because of the intimidation they had, the marginalization of the Igbo people. Our leaders' advocacy for a freedom on Biafra independence is rooted in historical grievances, like what happened in 1967 to 1970 Syrian Biafran Civil War, which claimed over 3 million lives of our people, women and children. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has positioned himself as a symbol of resistance against the marginalization of Ndigboo in that evil contraption. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has positioned himself as a resistance against the intimidation, the harassment, the subjugation of people in that evil contraption. However, my wonderful people, the case of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu exemplified systematic intimidation by the Nigerian state, including ordinary rendition. His solitary confinement and the denial of legal access and suppression of protest. It will be recalled that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya, was never renditioned, but rather was extraordinarily renditioned, meaning fully taken without the consent of the Kenyan authorities or the Kenyans. and he was put in solitary confinement. He has been denied change of clothes. He has been denied even reading glasses. He's praying regalia. He has been even denied access to medical care. And you ask yourself, what happened? What has this man done that he is facing all these kinds of issues? They've denied him everything. And they even try to, discourage you. They intimidate and harass people who even rise up to speak against his continued detention. They don't want people to protest for him. They want Nnamdi Kanu to rot in jail. But that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu representing the Igbo nation and the Biafran people. It is not about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is about we as a nation, the Biafran people. This pattern is this denial of legal and suppression of protest is to intimidate the judiciary as well as intimidate the general public. That is the reason why they don't want people to speak about him. And this pattern is often framed by IPOB and human rights as ethnic targeting. Of course, that is what it is. It is an ethnic targeting where it's a very large disproportionate repression compared to activists from other parts of that evil entity called Nigeria. The Yorubas, the Ndigboo.No, Zakis, all of them are now working free. Ndigboo.No was released in 2023. And Zaki was given bail in 2019. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have continued to remain in detention even when the courts have already freed him. So you see that an orchestrated plan, harassment and intimidation of the Biafran people because of our tribe. So you that is listening, I want you to know that the intimidation of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is intimidation of every Biafran man and woman walking around on this planet Earth. I want you also to understand how we got to this. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal highlights the cycle of arrest, evasion of court orders, and escalation of tactics in order to silence him and deter our people's solidarity for him. Okay? It is an orchestrated plan by the Nigerian state to hold the Igbo nation people into ransom. First of all, they threaten and harass the politicians from the southeast. They understand that the politicians are gluttonous more than their brother. They love enjoyment more than the freedom of their people, have the interests of the people at heart. So the Nigerian government now, first of all, gave the politicians all that they needed because they know that they make sure that politicians, political positions, they make sure that the politics be footed. They make sure that they peg the politicians against our people who are actually asking for their freedom. So that when they come for you, your politicians will never stand with you. They will not sue you. Neither will they speak for you or speak on your behalf. So when they achieve it, they now come. And that is the reason why I understand why the politicians today are not speaking. In 2015, our leader, Ndigboo.No, arrested by the Department of State for treasonable after Radio Biafra broadcast. He was denied bail despite no violent charge. Protests erupted in the southeast. Even when people are protesting, the Nigerian government rolled out their military in order to quell the protest by force, which led to a lot of people losing their lives. But you know, an ideology can never be destroyed. You cannot tame an ideology, not by fire, not by force. No. So why the people of the southeast woke up in 2015 and saw that Mazi Ndigboo was taken? People started crying, why? Was he the only one that was asking for the freedom of his people? And this agitation, freedom of his people, is also in the Nigerian constitution. Why would the Nigerian government now come for a man who have no arms, who only was speaking his mouth, and they are trying to silence him, especially when he comes from the eastern part of Nigeria? Because there are incidences where other parts of the country, when they agitate, the government listens to them. When the North were agitating for 12 for Sharia, Obasanjo gave them Sharia. And as we speak now, 12 northern states are practicing Sharia. But why we are asking for against marginalization, and our leader, Ndigboo.No, telling the Nigerian government to restore everybody, we have a in the governance that concerns him. They didn't listen to him in 2019, in 2009. They didn't listen to him. Called him a Rambo Rose. You know, before Mazi Ndigboo.No started asking for Biafra, he first of all appealed to the Nigerian state to change their policies or their laws, which were actually against the Biafran region and the Biafran people. So now that Mazi Ndigboo.No have vehemently decided to fight for the freedom of his people, the Nigerian government are now coming against our region and trying to destroy us. In 2017, the Nigerian government sent their armies to storm the country home of our leader in Afaruku in Abia State during what they call this Operation Python Dance. And what were the Python dancing upon? The Python was dancing on the lives of the people of the Southeast, on the youths, on the members of the indigenous people in the homeland of our leader. And at the end of that dance, about 150 people fell, killed, murdered by the Nigerian state. They came looking for Nnamdi Kanu in order to destroy him, in order to kill him, but they did not succeed. In the same way, while Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for Biafra, Ndigboo.No was fighting for Duduwa. Ndigboo.No, the Yoruba from Yoruba and his were also for Yoruba nation. Why Mazino as the Eastern Security Network, the Oduduwa have already established Omotekun. The Omotekun were given a leeway to operate in the Southwest. The Eastern Security Network, the Nigerian government criminalized them and deployed the military to go and look for Biafrans in that group and to kill them. So it's the barrage, pleasant informations that are coming out against the Biafran people. So I want you to picture this in your memory. I understand. You ask yourself, are you a man? Are you as a Biafran? Why are you being criminalized or hated so much by the Nigerian state? It wants you to still remain in that evil contraction. You don't have the same with the Yoruba. Neither do you have this with the Fulanis. But yes, if you don't want to fight the Nigerian state, they are looking for you. They are killing you. They are destroying you. It's quite unfortunate. It is quite unfortunate. Even try to avoid them, they are looking for you. In 2021, after that ugly incident that happened in 2017, and Nnamdi Kanu escaped, they came. A lot of Biafrans paid the ultimate price. And Nnamdi Kanu eventually resurfaced in Israel in 2019. The Nigerian government were not at peace with themselves. They started looking for Nnamdi Kanu when he resurfaced again. And in 2021, July 19th, Nnamdi Kanu was abducted in Kenya. They kidnapped Nnamdi in Kenya, thereby violating extradition treaties, and smuggled Nnamdi to Nigeria. This action was very unlawful. The United Kingdom government condemns it, as we know, even as they know that Nnamdi is their citizen, but they have done little or nothing, absolutely, to pressure the Nigerian government to release Nnamdi. Even at that, the Nigerian government are insisting that Nnamdi have a cancer, because according to them that he died in 2017. Whereas everybody knows that Nnamdi's life was in danger, and he has to run for his dear life in 2017. But the Nigerian government, because of the hatred that they have for you as an Igbo man, because the hatred they have for you as a Biafran, they say they must prosecute Nnamdi. Even their law said you have no jurisdiction because he was not brought in legally. So for you to know that the intimidation and the calm, it is about you. It is about you. So for you to understand this, you find yourself. Mazen Kanu since 2021 has been held in DSSS custody. What we have is back and forth every now and then. Have medical attention, to have his doctors examine, evaluate him and treat him. The Nigerian government hide him that. It is not about Mazen Kanu. It is about you as a Biafran. It is about you as an Igbo man. It is all about us as a people. We must not allow this intimidation to come. Even when he has been indicted and acquitted, because the Nigerian government refused to let him go. They refused to allow him to go. You ask yourself, why are they holding Mazen Kanu? What crime has he committed? Mazen Kanu committed no crime. And you, as a Biafran that know all this, you pretend you don't see injustices. You pretend you don't see all this harassment. You pretend this intimidation does not exist. You pretend it does not concern you. You pretend as if there is nothing going on. You pretend, as if it is not there. But I want you to know that it is there, waiting for you. I want you to understand that the situation is there, and it is not for Mazen Kanu. It is for the Biafran. It is for the Igbo nation. And I want you to know that it is our cross. You are not going to leave it for anybody to bear for you. It is a responsibility to carry that cross. And you have to be a participant in making sure that you make your voice heard. Otherwise, you are going to be a victim tomorrow. I want you to listen once again to what this man said. Very, very important.
Pretending you're not at war in the middle of a war doesn't change the reality. It doesn't make the violence go away. It just makes you more likely to die. You're at war whether you fight back or not. And there will come a time where you lament your cowardice. Because when the war was winnable, you denied it was even going on. Oh no, it's not a war. No, we don't need a war. It's not a war. We're just losing all of our land and freedom and sovereignty and lives. Yeah, that's not a war. Definitely not. Heaven forbid they were to come and take over your country and control every aspect of what you do and tell you what to say and think. You're denying reality because you're afraid. And when you're afraid, you want to pretend there's not going to be a fight. You know, that guy gets in your face, he's going to swing. Oh, maybe if I just don't hit him and I just stay here nicely, he won't hit me. It's not a movie, unfortunately. It's not the way the world works. You know, if a weaker animal removes its claws completely, the predators for said prey have no more mercy than they would normally have. They're no nicer, no more forgiving. In fact, when you have absolutely no weapons or no will to defend yourself, they feast and they kill at random. They kill more than they need because they don't fear repercussion. And then you go extinct. And then the people who exterminated you write the history books and talk about how you deserved it and how it was all your own fault. And they didn't exterminate you, you just suck. And you asked for it. So you don't even get a happy footnote in history. You just vanish. Conquered, vanquished, as permanently forgotten, seldom mentioned, and illy discussed losers.
I hope you heard that. You pretend as if it doesn't exist. You pretend as if nothing is happening. You saw it. You know it's there. But you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to join your people to free yourself from this bondage that you find yourself. You don't want to rise up to fight and defend. You pretend nothing is happening. You pretend it is not there. You pretend it doesn't exist. Why? They are using your brother to get to you. But because of fear, you give in to oppression. Because of fear, you give in to intimidation and harassment. Because of fear, you submit oppressors. And you think that the oppressor is going to stop? Because of fear, you try to be nice to your subjugators and your slave masters. You think that they are going to have mercy on you? They will destroy you completely. They will destroy you completely and take over your land and your communities and take over your women and children over because you refuse to rise up and defend them. You refuse to rise up and be a man and stand for what you believe in. You give in to intimidation. You allow their nation to be subdued because you could not have the courage to defend your people. This is the case that we find ourselves in Nigeria today. The Biafran people, the Igbo people are being intimidated. We are being harassed. And a few of our people have risen up to defend themselves. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku are among the few who have vowed to defend Biafra with their lives, who have vowed to make sure that our people are protected, who have vowed to make sure that we are free from the terrorist Nigerian state. They plan for our escape. They plan for our protection. Our leader gave you the Eastern Security Network. Mazi Simon Ekpa gave us the government. And today we are asking for you to come and support so that together we can be able to be free. Together we can defeat the enemy. Together our people will be liberated. Together our land will be liberated as well. So we call on you, don't pretend there is no war. Don't pretend the intimidation and harassment is not there. Don't pretend that the hatred is not there. Don't pretend as if you don't know what is happening. Don't pretend that you don't know that there is war going on in our land. Because your pretense cannot take it away. It has always been there. It is there. And the only way we can stop the war is by rising up and confronting our adversaries and confronting our enemies and subduing them and pursuing them out of our land. That is the only way that our land can be free. That is the only way that our people will be free. That is the only way that the enemy will leave you alone. Otherwise, if you don't rise up to fight for what you believe in, if you don't rise up to defend your women and children, you are going to go extinct. Yes, we are going to go extinct because that is their plan. That is their agenda, to overrun our land, destroy our land, kill our people, and take over our land. And we have vowed never to allow that to happen, at least not in. So, but we need you. We need everybody's hands to be on board. We need to say that enough is. We need them to understand that we are capable of defending our women and our children. We need them to understand that. So it is time to tell them that enough is enough.
There's a grave in the ground that shouldn't be there. There's a child with no bed and nobody cares. There's a woman who prayed while the system played, and another name the world erased. But I hear the dust cry out, I feel the sky bend low, and if no one else will say it, then I will let them know. Enough, no more hiding what.
Enough of the killings of our people. Enough of this harassment and pains that the Nigerian government have caused us. Enough of the continued detention of our leader, Ndigboo.No. Enough to the sufferings and pains inflicted on our people. It's time to say enough. Understand that we have had enough.
You've done enough.
It is very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed that we as a people, a revered and respected race, that the Nigerian government hold us hostage for long. And our people are accepting this as a part of life. We, this generation, we say enough. We cannot take this any longer. We cannot fold our hands and see our people and allow our women and children killed. We cannot sit down and watch our leader undergoing all this manner of harassment and intimidation in the criminal justice in Nigeria. We cannot allow this to happen to our people. While you see the terrorists are dining and whining with the politicians and the Nigerian government, the state. You see them having peace meetings. You see them having deals and negotiations. You see them move freely in motorbikes, in motorcades, in the communities in the north. You see them move without harassment. You see them move without intimidation. But in our land, in your own land, in the land of our ancestors, we are not given the free will to work peacefully, to live peacefully, to build peacefully in our land. Enough. Enough of all this harassment. Enough of all this intimidation. Enough of all this subjugation. Enough. Enough. We should rise up and say that it is enough. And it is a collective effort and responsibility of each and every one of us. Because together, we can move mountains. That is why we are calling on you to come on board and join this liberation, and join this restoration, and join this freedom that we are fighting for. It is for our children's sake. It is for our generation's sake. Our children can never be happy with us if we allow this freedom to slip from our hands. Our children can never be happy if we allow the enemies to hold them into ransom, to hold them hostage in the land of their fathers. Biafrans all over the world, enough. Enough of all these bad stories about us. The spirit of Onya should be activated in your heart. The spirit of love should have been activated in your heart. Enough. Enough. We need to be free as a people.
We
need to be
remember
free.
everyone.
We need to be free. We need to be free. We need you to understand that our freedom lies with you.
From the camps to the cries.
This music is all playing. It's quite unfair. This is happening to us. Do we cause it by ourselves? Are we dead of our own misfortune? We have to demonstrate how much we want our lives to look like. We have to demonstrate how much we love our people. Yes, we have to do. And the only way we can do that is to come together and fight for what you believe in.
There's a grave in the ground that shouldn't be there. There's a child with no hope and nobody cares. There's a woman who prayed while the system played, and another the world erased. But I hear the dove cry out. I feel the sky bend low, and if no one else will save, then I will let them know. Enough, no more hiding what you've done. Enough, we remember everyone, from the camps to the cries. We carry their names. You beat the bodies, left us the flame. There's a lie in your law, there's blood on the fire. Gospel got gold while our children go wild. You preach in peace, but you sell in fear. And the ones you forgot are standing here. They are not your shame, they are not your loss. They are ours to love, and yours to cross. Enough, we won't whisper when they bleed. Enough, you built silence on our knees. To the drum, from the grave to the gate, we're I cry.
We pray the word here. We pray, cry, because we have had enough. Our people have died enough. Our communities, our properties have been destroyed enough. If we allow the enemies to destroy what keeps us as a people, if we allow them to destroy our communities, where are we going to go? If they take that which is so dear to us, where are we going to go? So we have to rise up together and say that enough is enough. Please, if you have any contribution to make, join out on the studio and make your contribution. But one thing you have to understand is that the time to rise up is now. If you see people telling you about any election in Biafra land, regard those people as your enemy. If you see people telling you about the need to join any political office, these are the enemies of our land. Because right from the day Mazen Nnamdi was kidnapped, we have advocated for his release. We have advocated that our leader Mazen Nnamdi be released to us. And that is why every Monday sit at home have always been there since 2021. The same people who said that if Mazen Nnamdi is not freed, as we will be sitting at home every Monday, the same people are the ones who are saying we are not going to have any kind of election in Biafra land anymore. These same people are the over 50 million people, Biafrans, who voted for the self-referendum, acknowledging the fact that one Nigeria is no longer attainable in one territory. So, by that singular declaration of Biafra in 2024, we have opted out of Nigeria. What we have in our territory today are occupiers, Nigerian state occupiers in our land. So we cannot say that we want freedom in our land. We continue to participate in their election. No. We cannot say that we want freedom and we continue to participate in Nigerian government election in our land. Those who want election to happen in our land are the politicians who are representing Nigeria and representing their pocket and their families. There is no genuine Biafran, no lover of freedom that will join Nigeria to continue to hold our people down in our communities and land. No, it does not happen. And that is why we are calling on Biafrans to speak out at this time. Because anything of Nigeria is no longer appreciated or welcomed in Biafran territory, and the only way they can use to subjugate you, the only way they can use to continue their evil activities and action in our land is through these fraudulent elections. Once you allow them to hold elections in your land, it only means that the freedom that you restored is null and void. So enough of all these hanky-pankies that the Nigerian government are playing with the lives of our people. Enough. It's enough. So please join me on the studio. Join me on the studio. I see you, Alozie. Alozie, good morning from here. Welcome. I see you, Cypriel. Cypriel Ugochukwu. Good morning from as well. I salute you. Thank you so much for being here. I see some of you from the other sections, but you have not written your name. You have not, comment. Once you comment, you can be able to get your name. I see you, Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez, thank you for this broadcast. So please, if you have any contribution to make, if you have anything to say, join me on the studio and make your contribution. Join me on the studio and make your contribution. We will continue to educate we will continue to enlighten them on what they need to know in the Nigerian state. We will continue to educate them. We will continue to expose Nigerian government atrocities in our land, so that our people should understand what Nigeria is about. Very, very important.
I am not a pushover, and I believe Nigeria have seen that. If you think that Simon Ekpa is somebody you can push over, then you don't know me. I am here to end Tinubu. I am here to end Nigeria. I am here to end the Usman Dan Fodio legacy. I will end it. The people who have ended it in the doesn't have to end. I am going to be more than any of all those people who have fought freedom, including Gandhi. I am here to be more than Gandhi. Gandhi did not even fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. Nelson Mandela did not fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. And so I brought out myself, I'm well cooked for this particular freedom. So anybody thinking that Simon Ekpa is going down, you don't know what is coming. You still have a long way to go. I will be here to finish this job, and by December I will issue a declaration for the independence of Biafra, and the flag of Biafra will rise very, very high all over the world. That day, every mountain office all over the world of Biafra will rise the Biafra flag very, very high. We will raise it very, very high from homeland to all over the world. And then after that, the diplomatic battle will begin for recognition of Biafra government.
What you had our Prime Minister say, that is how it is. We're supposed to end Nigeria. We will end Nigeria. We must end Nigeria so that our people can be happy and live a better life. Because Nigeria have destroyed a lot of our people, and we cannot do it alone. As it stands now, we need your support. We need financial backup. We need money, because they are bringing war to us. we have to stand and defend our land. We have to stand and defend our women and our children. We have the army, we have the personnel, but we lack the resources. We lack the machineries that the army need in order to do their job. So that is why we are calling on you, why the diplomatic recognition of Biafra battle is still raging in Washington, D.C. The army of Chukwu Okike will continue to delegitimize the terrorists in our land. This is the diplomatic battle that is ongoing in Biafra land.
Well, thank you. My name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I began to represent some corporations and countries and causes that I believe in. An honor to work with you, Your Excellency. Elias Gerasulis is my partner. This is primarily Elias's account, going to be working with him. While I was in the Congress, I was on the committee that funds defense and foreign operations, as well as the Foreign Relations Committee. I have an interest in Africa. I was a principal co-sponsor of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. But most importantly, I do believe that Biafran independence is a just and noble cause. And I trust that you have a bright future ahead. We will try to secure your independence. We can't, politics is not a particularly predictable situation in the United States today, and justice is not always served, but we will work towards that objective. I appreciate the opportunity for the Biafran people, and at this point, let me turn it over to Elias. Elias?
Oh, thank you, Jim. And it's an honor to be working with you on this, and we appreciate your lending, your support, someone of your prestige and stature. That association would be so critical. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, and dear Biafrans in the United States and around the world. My name is Elias Gerasulis, and I am a good friend and colleague of Congressman Moran, and we are your new lobbyists here in Washington, D.C. However, you should know that we are more than just your lobbyists. We are fellow freedom fighters in the struggle for the liberation by Biafra. And similar to how your compatriots in the Biafran Defense Forces are securing your freedom on the homeland, we will be in the political and diplomatic battlefield here in Washington, D.C. And we will make sure that all these U.S. officials, all these congressmen and senators understand that the Biafran independence movement is a pure democratic civilian uprising against injustice, the very same one that we had in the United States when we declared our independence 200. On a personal level, I knew I had to get involved in this struggle, not only because of my belief in the Biafran cause, but my belief in the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. As I got to know the Prime Minister, I could see that he has remarkable leadership qualities and vision. And I knew that instinctively that he was a man of destiny and that he will have a very important impact in Africa in the years to come. And I thought a personal duty to assist him. Already, the Prime Minister has made remarkable progress and has outsmarted the Syrian system in many ways. The Prime Minister has done this with the self-referendum, the opening diplomatic liaison offices around the world. And I think by establishing a proper Biafran lobby in Washington, D.C., the Prime Minister has delivered. And if you can look at the Nigerian media and the social media, you will see that this is something that's been highly publicized. And I think this is because they understand that the United States starts to gain more support for the Biafran cause. It will be a game changer, because when the United States leads, other countries follow. Congressman Murphy, are your voice to the U.S. Congress, your the White House, your voice to the State Department, your voice to the highest offices in this great land. And we will not stop until achieved. Long live a free, independent, and sovereign Biafra. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that brilliant speech there. Layers, happy to have you, and we have a lot of things to do together. Thank you. This particular, appearance today is just to present you to the Biafrans in the United States. As I made my promise, I have fulfilled it. It is now that we go out there and do what we know how to for the interest of Biafra.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It's our honor, and we look forward to serving you in the cause. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Chimora.
Before we go, I would like to ask you this. I see you in court. I see videos of you in court every time Nnamdi Kanu appears in court. And his case has lingered for too long and so long. Shouldn't we be talking about a political solution now to resolve all of these and probably give closure to the people and maybe peace too?
The Kanu situation didn't need to last one day longer than the day Buhari left. Kanu was Buhari's personal prisoner because those people, the Buharis of this world, believe that Nigeria is a real estate that must be held together, it must be united. But do we think that people who claim they have broad minds about what Nigeria is, the diversity of Nigeria, the crisis, is the first person they would have done, the first person they would have let go is Nnamdi Kanu. Because Ndigboo.No, are we not down Yoruba land? Before the people fighting for Ezaki, the arguments by those who were opposed to his release was that if he come, he will burn down Kaduna. Ezaki has been out of jail now for how long? He doesn't even have time for Nigeria. He has become an international for Nigeria. He goes to Lebanon, Iran. I've seen him in Iraq. He has not had time to even rebuild his area base. That shows to you that some of the fear mongering that happens on the corridors of power is driven by unreasonableness. And that is why I just want to eventually we are going to resolve the issue politically. The issue is a self-determination. There's no court of law that can resolve Kanu's matter. If he's found guilty, their own standards, he's a political prisoner forever.
Some people have also said that there are also political interests, even from his region, who do not want.
We know that because I was in, I think, 2023. I was part of some company to release him. And what came from Imo State, that he can't be released before the election in Imo State, that he will affect them. And after that, everybody kept, don't release him, and here we are.
Right, we have to go now. I must thank you very much for your time on the program. Omoyele Chore.
I'm not shocked because I think on your show I once declared that Kanu's predicament deal is as a result of some persons in the Southeast who took a decision that his release would jeopardize their political career. And that I know as far back as when Tinubu freshly became president, because I was part of some conversation to release him. And they said at that time, Imo elections are coming. If it comes out, APC might not win. And subsequently, I realized that some of the communiques you see, just, word of mouth by day, when they go at night or when they meet Tinubu, it's likely that they have a different position. When I started contacting them, I was shocked. Some of them that I used to be able to reach just switched off their lines. The ones I sent messages never responded. I reached out to Soludo, who I know personally.
That's Charles Soludo,
who's the governor of Anambra State. No response till now. I reached out to Alex Oti. Alex Oti used to be a columnist for Sahara Reporters, so I know him personally. no response till now. The only response they got was a nominal response that no, we shouldn't have dragged us the way you did. Reached out to Peter Obi, they said, but I sent a message that, you can behave as Romans do too, just be part of this. But some have been encouraging Senator Abaribe. I reached out to him, he responded, he said, and I know that Abaribe when he was a short, In fact, I was sleeping on Abaribe's bed at the DSS in 2019 shortly after he was released, because he was shorty for Nnamdi Kanu. So the rep from his state at the the House of Rep also has signed up. A number of persons have signed up, some of them publicly, but there is no unified response from Southeastern political leaders or traditional rulers or even the religious priesthood there, which many had expected would happen. But a lot of young people have signed up to this, and you can see that the government is already pushing back because they've seen the response to be unequivocally in support of the release of Nnamdi Kanu at this time. I don't think they were expecting that such a response would be so favorable.
You've heard it. That is the correct assessment of the situation of the case of our leader, Ahmadike of Biafra, in that DSS custody. The politicians, you are politicians. You are representatives in your communities, in your local government, in your state, in the federal. All of them are playing games with the life of our leader, with the life of millions of Biafrans, because of their political interest. It's high time every one of you rise up and support the freedom of our leader. Because when you support this freedom, you are supporting your own freedom. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is your own freedom. I want you to know that. And freedom cannot just come on a platter of gold. Freedom comes with a price, and that price has been the continued detention of our leader. Is a price, part of the price that our leader has paid. So this is now the time for you to rise up and fight for what you believe in, for what is right, for your people. It's not only about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
abata n'ime ugbo ụmụ nwaanyị kọrọ wee na ma na-emebisi ihe ndị ha kọrọ ga-anụ nsị mba ene plan unu stọpụ ịlọgbo n'ama aba n'ugbo ụmụ Igbo ndị obodo dị mma osi na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na-ekwu ọnụ ndị Nigerian politicians wee sị na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na-ekwu n'ọnụ. How will government try army? How try police? How they push you? How try to see me? How they push you? Your plan will take you over your house. Your plan will not change your farmland. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Sina. Oga Adendo, who can hear me? No, but that. I love who Biafra. Ndị so Mazi Nnamdi
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're watching me from. I have come up once again today, being 1st of August 2025, to expose the Eastern leaders about what that is happening now. Number one, I am Gentle the Yahoo. The whole world knows me very well. I want to give the list, but not the last, to the conscious world today, for them to understand what is going on. And I want also make this video so that the international community will understand what Biafrans is passing through. I am Gentle the Yahoo. I am not afraid of war. I know whom I am, and I believe the gods of the land. Number one, they extended the release of Nnamdi Kanu because of the evil plans towards Biafran. They extended the release of PM Simon Ekpa because of their evil plans towards Biafrans. And today, it has been known to all Biafrans before me coming up. One, today being the 1st of August, the military, the Fulani in uniform, they have bring them to Okigwa. They have packed to Okigwa, Rakin. They bring them with trailers to invade Okigwa. That one, by the way, to expose our leaders, those that call themselves Eastern leaders. Number one, remember, you must fight and fail. I promise you that one. Alex Onyema, D. Enugu, Div, Abuja, Air Force, and all the rest of the forces in the land. All the meetings around, all the plans on how to detain Nnamdi Kanu so that you people can the threats last in Biafra land. National community to hear this, and I must expose it today. They have made a meeting that they must invade Southeasterners. They must reduce the youth, and has been used by the Fulani to assassinate his own people. And I want the world to understand this, that nothing is moving on in Nigeria. Nigeria have no any reproductory system of government. That is why I always call them a business center. What Nigeria is all about is moving around, assassinating them. If you come up to speak out the truth, they will look away to assassinate you. Now they are planning to kill Gentle, they are planning to move around to assassinate the youth in Okigwa, which everyone have gotten the information. Please and please let the people, let the youth in Okigwa, more especially Okigwa, should take this note. Everyone should be very careful. If you cannot stay, it's better you leave Okigwa, because this idiotic human being their informant that calls himself Ebekuo Dika. Ebekuo Dika, number one, you have signed to kill yourself. You have signed to label the Biafrans. You have signed to destroy all the youths. Ebekuo Dika, one, you are not from Izog. You are not from Okigwa. You are from Arochukwu. You are from Abreba or Hofia. Ebekuo Dika, why wouldn't you leave the people of Aron all alone for them to be? Okigwa all alone for them to be? Why throwing a huge of allegation, a huge of propaganda on my head? Ebekuo Dika, when did I call you and spoke to you? Ebekuo Dika, do I have your number? Ebekuo Dika, if you said that, Carry that number that I used to call you, post it on net. Tell the world that number that I used to call you, and give them the voice record, because I believe anyone that you speak with, you must to have the record of the call of the person. Bring it out. Let it be an evidence. Ebeko have been moving around, deceiving the people of Arondi Zog. I just came out today to debunk all this your selfish and rubbish life towards our people. You have bring men in uniform. They are now at Okigwa. I have gotten them.
And if you allow yourselves to be deceived, things can only get worse. Fulani terrorists will take over your land. Time and time again, I have warned you on this very matter, but some of you never ever listened. Because what goes around comes around. If you support evil, you're benefiting. Eventually that evil will overwhelm you.
That is a fact. That is the truth, but it will eventually we overwhelm you. That is the reason why you must be very, very careful in supporting any evil against your people, because that evil will certainly come to you, come to your doorstep and be knocking for you to open the door for it. So all of you that are not rising up, even after seeing what is happening, be prepared to dance of the boss.
I welcome all of you to this tour of Belgium. I want everyone to understand that we have picking up guns to defend our land, and the gun is not going down until the Biafra is liberated from the Islamic State of Nigeria. For decades, Biafra people have slaved within the Nigeria enslavement. Over 100 years, we have suffered marginalization, and we have seen worse than the apartheid in South Africa. Today, be a president in Nigeria. Biafra do not have seaport. Biafra do not have the presence of any embassy. Biafra do not have any office or any presence of multi-corporation. Biafra do not have quarter of any world class organization. Biafra land do not have the presence of the Nigeria's federal government. Biafra land do not have road. Biafra do not have school. Biafra land do not have hospital. Biafra do not have social amenities. Biafra do not have any presence of Nigeria state within our land. This is not something that started yesterday. This has been the result of the marginalization, discrimination with impunity, the dangerous diversity of the Nigeria state that Biafra people is unfortunately being part of Nigeria. This is it that British government has done. I will continue to hold the British government accountable. We will continue to blame them until the day Biafra will finally gain its freedom from Nigeria. The British, out of their selfish interests, joined people who have nothing in common together, and they begin to compete among themselves, religious-wise, economic-wise, educational-wise, and cultural. And this whole combination of this pull apart from each other become a dangerous diversity that we suffer today. Biafra people embraced Christianity. Christianity preached about love of one another. Christianity preached about do not harm your fellow human. We embrace Christianity. Our cultural and traditional religion also preach the same. Do not harm any person, relative, your friends, extended families, and even foreigners and strangers. This is what our value system is all about. We embraced the foreign god and become even more radical than them. And then as time goes on, we begin to see the Islamic State, we begin to see the Fulanis coming with aggression, coming with terrorism, attacking and killing Biafrans since 1945. This led to the declaration of by Chief Ndigboo.No in 1967. Nigeria, being a dangerous diversity, witnessed military coup upon military coup, and as this was going on, Simon Ekpa was not born. From 19 to 1970, as Biafra struggled to exit Nigeria because they feel that their life is being changed and their future and existence is being under attack. They fought a brutal. Simon Ekpa was not born by then. After 1967, Nigeria declared that it was a no victor, no vanquish. By then, Chief Ndigboo.No was in exile. At the end of the day, he came back. He was celebrated because the decision he saw, people did not see. The people who fought Ojukwu is being massacred in their villages. Gowon is one of them. Gowon village has witnessed the highest IDP camp within the Nigeria state. He didn't see this coming today. Simon Ekpa was not born in 1970. Simon Ekpa was not born in 1979. Simon Ekpa was not born in 1980. Simon Ekpa was not born in 1981. Was not born in 1982. Was not born in 1983. Was not born in 1984. Simon Ekpa was born in 1985. In 1982 to 1984, a man called Buhari planned coup against Nigeria. Out of this dangerous diversity came a military dictator under military rule in Nigeria. It was not as a result of Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa was not born. People are not asking question, why are there this coup upon coup upon coup within the Nigeria state being carried out by North and of course Yorubas? But whenever this coup happen, and if there is one single Igbo man in this coup, or one single Calabar man, or one single Ijaw man in this coup, it become Igbo coup. After that, this man called Buhari committed many atrocities, including an international crime. 1984, they kidnapped a man called Umaru Dikko from London because he believed, as a Fulani man, he doesn't respect law, not the law of his own country, not the law of any other country. He came back after many years to become a civilian president with impunity.
this same man went to Kenya and kidnapped the current leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya, there has been since 1999 by the group led by Wazirike was not part of it. From 1999, Wazirike Mosop members was massacred in cold blood, killed at every given opportunity with straight bullet, straight shooting, live bullet by the Nigeria state. That was not part of Biafra. Then, not part of the agitation for Biafra. Wazirike Mosop gave birth to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, indigenous people of Biafra, and still the killings of Biafra continued. In all these things that were going on, nobody summoned the courage to resist the killings of the agitators. In 2020, the Fulani killings and upsurge of terrorists become a thing of concern across the Nigeria state, across the entire Africa. They were ranked the number 4 most deadliest terrorist group in the world. Once our people become helpless and nobody was speaking for them, and none of these people who call themselves leaders from the eastern part of Nigeria were making any move, the children from Biafra territory. It was what gave the birth to the formation of the Eastern Security Network.
I appreciate everyone who are listening. I appreciate our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I appreciate our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. I appreciate our Acting Prime Minister, His Excellency Honorable Okere. I also appreciate Minister of Information, His Excellency Honorable Sonny Akbarawa. I appreciate all the media team, my comrades in the media. I appreciate Biafrans who are contributing for our freedom. I also appreciate everybody that are listening and those who will listen later. And I encourage you to join the funding of your freedom so that together we will be free out of Nigeria. I salute the Biafran Defense Forces for doing us proud. And I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to strengthen each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? For now, that's the only way you can support me so that we grow this channel where things will be happening and every information that you need to know, we will continue to furnish you with authentic information. In this platform as well, we will use it, to ask questions that are so, disturbing, all the authentic questions, whatever you need to know about any Biafran cabinet member. We will bring that person to our platform and be able to find out some certain information. So, but this platform have to be built to a standard so that we can be able to do that. So, the first step of it is to subscribe to my channel and we will hit the button rolling, the ball rolling, okay? So thank you so much. Let me see if this music can play. Otherwise, we call it a day.
There's a grave in the ground that shouldn't be there. There's a child with no bed and nobody cares. There's a woman who prayed while the system played, and another name, world erased. But I hear the dust cry out, I feel the sky bend low, and if no one else will say, then I will let them know. Enough. No more hiding what you've done. Enough. We remember everyone, from the camps to the cries. We carry their names. You buried the bodies, but left us the flame. There's a lie in your law, there's blood on the fire, and your gospel got gold while our children go wild. You preach in peace, but you sell in fear, and the ones you forgot are standing here. They are not your shame, they are not your loss, they are ours to love, and yours to cross. Enough. We won't whisper when they bleed. Enough. You built silence on our need, from the dust to the drum, from the grave to the gate. We're being quiet, we speak in their place. Say their name, feel their pain. They were here, they still remain. Enough. No more graves with no goodbyes. Enough. No more mothers left to cry. You had your chance, now we rise. This time we sing, and the world hears our cry.